Hello, my dear friends. How are you all? I hope you are fine and well. I am Soham Jagad. Welcome you in this science class. In the last lecture, we have completed our chapter number 9, that is force and laws of motion. In this session, we are going to start our chapter number 10, that is gravitation. I am sitting here, you are sitting at your home, everything in its place, like this laptop, camera, and these books are on its place because of some reason. Because there is one force that attracts all things to this surface of earth, or say surface, that is nothing but gravitational force. So in this chapter, we will going to see what is gravitation and what is universal law of gravitation. Let's move ahead. I hope you are now with your textbook and rough book or fair book. Please note down important point and mark important point with different color pen in your textbook. Okay, let's start the chapter. In chapter number 8 and 9, we have learnt about the motion of object and force as cause of motion. We seen that if we want to develop motion or say we have to change in motion, what we have to do? We have to apply force on them. We have learned that force is needed to change the speed and direction of motion of object that we discussed. We always observed that object drop from height falls toward earth. Suppose I have an object here. If I drop this object, what will happen? It will move downward. It will move downward. If I drop the object, any object, it will move downward direction. So we know that all planets go around the sun, moon goes around the earth. In all these cases, there must be some force acting on the objects. We know that in our solar system, we have sun in the center of the system and all other planets goes around sun. And like that, we have earth here and moon goes around earth. So there should be some force which bound this particular path of every object that is moving around. Why don't sometime moon changes its path and goes somewhere else in the system or galaxy? But it has definite path. We call this path as orbit. Yes, you know that orbit. So there is some force that bound all this object in whole universe. So there would be some force. Isaac Newton could grasp that some force is responsible for all this. This force is called gravitational force. Sir Isaac Newton identified the force that binds all the things and that is between all object in universe as well as everywhere. I can say it can be terrestrial body or celestial body. The gravitational force is universal. It is everywhere. So who noticed this force? Sir Isaac Newton noticed this force. In this chapter, we shall learn about the gravitation and the universal law of gravitation. We will learn in this chapter about gravitation and law of gravitation. We shall discuss the motion of object under the influence of gravitational force of earth. We know that earth has gravitational force because everything on earth moves toward surface of earth. if we fall from height. So there is a force to earth that attracts everything to its center. We shall discuss motion of object under the influence of gravitational force of earth. We shall study how weight of body varies from place to place. Now you may get question how weight of body varies from place to place. I want to say you that our mass is constant everywhere in the universe. Our mass is constant, not weight. Now you should have question what is mass and what is weight. Mass, unit of mass is kilogram. Unit of mass is kilogram. And what is unit of weight? Unit of weight is nothing but Newton. Weight is a force. So because weight is equal to mass into gravitational acceleration. We will see what is gravitational acceleration in this chapter. But remember, mass and weight are different. Mass is constant everywhere, but weight is not constant everywhere because it is dependent on gravitational force or say gravitational acceleration. So from different place, we have different gravitational acceleration. We will see cases of gravitational force on earth, case of gravitational acceleration or say force on moon and some other place. So our weight will be different on different place. So we shall study about that. We shall also discuss condition for object to float in liquids. We know that some object floats on the surface of liquid while some sink in the liquid. So we will also discuss about that. Now we have our topic number 10.1, that is gravitation. We know that moon goes around the earth and object when throws upward reaches to certain height and then falls downward. We know that moon goes around the earth and if we throw an object upward, it does not go to infinite distance. Its velocity will be zero at some point and then it will go down. Okay. It is said that when Newton was sitting under a tree, an apple fell on him. I will show you one picture of that. Okay. So here we have Newton sitting under a tree and apple fell on him. Newton started thinking about the incident. He thought that if the earth can attract apple, can it not attract the moon? What he thought? He thought that if earth can attract apple, can't it attract the moon? Is the force same in both the cases? He conjectured that same type of force is responsible in both the cases. And finally, from experiment and observation, he decided and he suggests that the force in both the case will be same. He argued that at each point of its orbit, the moon falls toward the earth. What he said? At each point of its orbit, moon falls toward the earth instead of going into straight line. So it must be attracted by earth. But we do not really see moon falling on the earth. Now let's try to understand this phenomena. Let's say we have earth here. What is this? Is earth. And I throw one object from here. I throw one object from here. What will happen? This object will go up first and then it will come down. Now I throw this object with more force like this. What will happen? it will cover some more distance. Now I throw this object with further more force. What will happen? It will cover more distance, but finally this earth attract this object and object will fall on earth's surface. If I throw this object with much larger and sufficient speed like this, like this, this object will travel around the earth. What will happen? It tried to go towards earth like this. It will try to go towards earth, but its place, position and velocity is in such a way that it will not go toward the earth, but it will go into this direction. But it will not further go into this direction, which means this direction. It will not move off this orbit, but it will move around the earth's surface like this. So this is the situation. So this is the situation in which we put our orbital satellites around the earth. We have space stations. These space stations are here somewhat 100 to 200 miles above the earth's surface. So here are our space station. They are in free fall condition. Now what is free fall condition? I will give you an example. Suppose you are in roller coaster ride and sometime you experience weightlessness. Sometimes you experienced weightlessness, or sometime when you are going into plane, at that time, at the time of takeoff and sometime at the time of landing, you will experience weightlessness. This experience of weightlessness can create this kind of experience. So our space station and moon that is moving around our earth cannot escape from its orbit, which means this moon cannot go in this direction. Also it cannot be attracted by earth and fall on the earth. So they have particular kind of velocity and its position and direction and speed, so they cannot move from their orbit. I would like to give another example. Some of you might say in movie Mission Mangal. In that movie, they are said that this satellite should reduce its speed from 75,000 km per hour to, I hope you remember the scene. So if that satellite continue its high velocity motion, what will happen? It will miss the trajectory. What will happen? Suppose this is now Mars, and if that satellite is coming from this way, it will coming from this way, and here around the Mars there is a gravitational force of Mars, so it can move around Mars. But if it has very high velocity, what will happen? It will miss the trajectory and it will go into space somewhere else. But it has sufficient speed, that was 15,000 km per hour as per movie. So if they reduce the speed of this satellite, it will come in this trajectory, and what will happen? Mars try to attract this satellite towards it, but it cannot attract it and not fall onto the surface of Mars. But what will happen? It will move like this. At this place, what will happen? Mars try to attract it, but it will not attract. It will move in this way. Like this, it will not fall onto the Mars, but it will go in this way. So I hope now you understood how we can launch satellite, what is the necessary speed for satellite, how moon cannot fall onto the earth surface and earth cannot fall on the sun. Okay, so this is the point. Let's move ahead in our chapter. Let's take activity number 10.1. Take a piece of thread, tie a small stone at one end. So I take one thread and I tied one mass at the end of this thread. And now give a rotatory moment or say whirl this object like this. And now if I release this object or say thread, what will happen? It will move like this. It will move like this. Is it necessary that every time I release the thread and it will move in this direction or in this direction or in this direction or in this direction? Obviously not. What will happen at that time? Let's see. If we release this stone in different time at different place, it will go in different direction. Let's read. Before the thread is released, the stone move in a circular path with certain speed and change direction at every point. Now, from circular motion, from chapter 8, we know that the object move in circular path changes its direction at every point. The change in direction involves change in velocity or acceleration. Now we know that velocity is vector quantity. Though object move with same speed, but its direction is changing at every point, it means that velocity is changing. And when velocity change, there is change in acceleration. So it involves change in velocity or acceleration. The force that causes this acceleration and keep the body moving along the circular path is acting toward center. So in circular motion, there is a force which attracts this object toward center. So this force toward center. This force is called centripetal force, or another name of centripetal force is center seeking force. So you should notice this example and mark this definition. The force that causes this acceleration of body moving along the circular path is called centripetal force or center seeking force. So here we have definition and SQ, that is what is centripetal force or what is center seeking force. In absence of this force, the stone flies off along the straight line. The straight line will be tangent to circular path. What will happen? If there is a no force that attracts this object towards center, this object will move in the straight line, and this straight line is in the direction of tangent to this circle. Now let's understand what is tangent. Read here, tangent to circle. Here we have point, tangent to circle. If a straight line is in such a way that its only one point is intersecting with circle, its only one point intersects with circle, we will call it this line as tangent to circle. We can read here, a straight line that meets the circle at only and only one point. You can mark here only one point. It's called as a tangent to circle. You will learn about tangent and its quality in standard 10 mathematics. So here we have to just understand what is tangent. A straight line that meets a circle at one and only one point, it's called as tangent to circle. Straight line ABC, here you can see straight line ABC is touch the circle at point B. Here you can see this line ABC touching the circle at point B only. So we can say that ABC is tangent to this circle. So that is tangential path. Let's understand it by another figure. If I have circle like this and say one object is now at this place. Object is at this place. So at this place, suppose we have this thread and object is tied with thread. If I release this thread at this time, this object will goes into this direction. Which direction? This direction. Suppose I release this thread at this position, it will move into this direction. In chapter number 8, we have seen that in circular motion, at every point, direction of velocity is in tangential direction, like in this direction. At this point, it is in this direction. So I hope now you understood what is tangential direction and what is velocity and direction of speed at particular point in circular motion. So now we have clear with the tangent to circle. The motion of moon around the earth is due to centripetal force. Now we understood what is centripetal force. The centripetal force is provided by the force of attraction of earth. This force, centripetal force or center seeking force, is due to earth. If there were no such force, moon would pursue a uniform straight motion. As we discussed, say attractive force. If there is no any attractive force of earth, what will happen? Moon will move into straight line direction. It is seen that falling apple is attracted towards the earth. Does the apple attract the earth? That is the question. If earth can attract apple, can't apple attract earth? Can it happen? It can happen, but why it does not happen, we will see it later. If so, we do not see the earth moving toward the apple. Why? We will see it. According to the third law of motion, the apple does attract the earth. In third law, we have seen that to every action there is opposite force, that is we called as reactive force or reaction force, that is of equal magnitude and opposite in direction. So if earth can attract the apple, what is attracting apple? Attracting apple means to exert force on apple, to exert force on apple. At same time, apple also acts force or exert force on earth. So we have, but according to the second law of motion, for a given force, acceleration is inversely proportional to the mass of object. From second law, remember the formula of second law? What is the formula for second law? That is F is equal to ma. Try to remember formula. F is equal to ma. If I make subject to A, what will happen? F is equal to ma. So F divide m is equal to A. Can you imagine this? F is equal to ma. If you can't, do write in your notebook. F is equal to ma. Here A and m is in multiplication. So if I take this m, it will goes into denominator. So F by m is equal to A. So you can understand A and m is in inverse proportion. So here we have acceleration is in inverse proportional to mass. The mass of an apple is negligible, and compare with earth. Mass of apple is very low compared to earth. So we do not see earth moving towards apple. So apple cannot attract earth, but earth can attract apple due to its massiveness, due to its large mass. So we do not see the earth moving toward the apple. Extend the same argument why the earth does not move toward the moon. It can be applied to moon and earth also. If there was a situation that moon is very large to earth, it may happen that earth will move around the moon, because the attraction force of moon will be larger than attraction force of earth. So it may happen if moon was very large than our earth. What will happen? Earth will move around moon, but that is not the situation, because gravitational force of earth is larger. Why larger? Because earth is larger in mass with compared to moon. In our solar system, all the planets go around the sun. In our solar system, all planets go around the sun, because sun is very large as compared to all our planets. By arguing this same way, we can say that there exists a force between sun and planet also. As can we discuss for moon and earth, it can be similarly applied to earth and sun, and earth and other object or other planets and sun. From the above fact, Newton concluded that not only does the earth attract apple and the moon also, but all objects in the universe attract toward each other. What he said? He said all objects in universe attract each other. This force of attractiveness, this force of attraction between object is called gravitational force. So we can write here, or we can mark here, that Newton concluded that not only does the earth attract apple and moon, but all objects in universe attract each other. This force of attraction between objects is called gravitational force. So what is gravitational force? So we can write this definition there. So I hope you understood what is gravitational force, what is cause of moon moves around the earth, and what is the cause behind the every planet move around sun. So further discussion we will continue in next lecture. Have a nice time. Thank you very much.